Hi and welcome again. So we're going to work on another example in productivity. This is example number 2, which is posted in the Brightspace. And so for this example, we are supposed to calculate productivity of the following. So we have a team of workers and who make 400 units of a product. And these products are sold in the market for $10 each. So the accounting department reports that for this job, the actual costs are 400 cost of labor, 1,000 cost of materials, and 300 overhead cost. So you can see that we have more than one input. And therefore, if we have to calculate productivity of the overall cost, it means that we're going to look at the multi-factor productivity. And so we're going to use Excel to approach this question as follows. As we did the first question, we're going to develop the model that we can use to answer this question. So the first thing I always advise is to come up with the formula. And in this case, we have productivity, which is the output per input, or we can say inputs. So in this case, we have productivity is output divided by the number of inputs which are given. In this question, we have labor, and also we have materials, and then we have overhead. Then we need to identify output, and also we can skip some few lines and identify inputs. If we go back to the question, it says that this group of workers are going to produce 400 units of a product. And so that's our output. So we have 400 units of a product. The question also says that each product can be sold in the market for $10. And so we can also find the revenue. And so in this case, we have $10. So price per unit. And therefore, we can actually identify the revenue. We know that revenue is the price times quantity or times the units. And so we will use Excel function. For the function, you can use equal sign, or you can actually apply plus. Either way, it's okay. And so let's use equal sign for now. And we're going to take the price times the quantity. So we'll click on the price, which is $10, times the quantity. And therefore, we get our revenue, which is $4,000. So in this case, we can actually express our output in terms of revenue, or we can express our output in terms of units. Remember, all we're looking for is the output. And then when we are able to identify inputs, then we will we'll take output divided by the inputs, and so we get productivity. Now, in this case, we have a number of inputs. Remember, we said that we have labor, and also we have materials, and then we have overhead cost. And so labor, we have 400, and the materials, in this case, we have 1,000, and overhead 300. So we have 1,000, and also we have $300. So in this case, we can look at the total cost. We look at the total input cost. So we need to sum all this, and therefore you can put equal sign and then just type sum. And in this case, we are going to sum all of them, the labor, materials, and overhead. And then if you enter, you're going to have $1,700 as the total input cost. And you can see here the total input cost. We added the labor cost, the material cost, and overhead cost. And that's what we did here. And we get $1,700. So in this case, we have the total input cost, but also we have output. Now we can use 400 units divided by 1700, or we can actually express this in terms of revenue, and therefore we can take $4,000 divided by 1700 to get productivity. And that's the productivity, multi-factor productivity. And so let me write here productivity. As per the formula, we will put equal sign and click on the output, which is in terms of units, divided by total input cost, which is $1,700. And in this case, we'll get 0.24, and this we can express it as units per dollar spent. So if we spent a dollar, this will, if we spent $1 in terms of the inputs, we will get 0.24 units. Or let me write here, or we can use revenue instead of units, and therefore we will take 400 divided by 1700. Let's put this into 2 decimal points. And so you can see that we have the revenue that we get when we spent a dollar. So I'm going to write here revenue accrued per dollar spent. So we can express our productivity in terms of units or in terms of revenue.